Hello, welcome back to the Gamer's Tale. I am your dungeon master for the evening, Trent Gander. I am joined by my friend Cheyenne,
Hi.
and she has the clarity to view all the stuff, the stupid crap that we do that is related to uh, RPGs and all that sort of thing. So she's coming to this fresh and has no prior experience, if you would say, with these things. So this is going to be interesting and fun. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the new RPGs that are up on Kickstarter, a few of the new games that are out, Cheyenne's opinion on certain things, and a game from 2 weeks ago. If I remember correctly, I mentioned it last time when I was on with Lee. All right, we're going to start from the back tonight. There is a new RPG coming out. It's going to be set up. It's based on the Force Awakens movie. It has the complete set, so you'll have 8 prefabricated bios for the characters, galaxy map, book for the games master to parallel the movie, and all the dice, all the stuff that you'll need. So pretty much it's a basic starter kit that's Star Wars themed. Are you stoked about that, Cheyenne?
I am super stoked. I think that will be my downfall. Like, yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it's based like off the movie, right? Like
Yes, it's
completely.
based off. It's based off of the movie, or it's
Oh,
based off of
seven.
technically the Star Wars universe. So you
Yeah. See,
can follow the movie, or you can do other crap that you don't care about that wasn't in the movie.
okay. I'm cool with that. I don't know. I have issues with some of the characters in Seven. I feel like they weren't developed well enough. But
We can
other than
discuss
that,
that later because
we
I
may
have a
need to.
complete diatribe about that.
Okay.
All right, August 13th, there is going to be a board game up on Kickstarter about Sharknado. And I
Ooh,
still cannot believe that there are 4 Sharknado movies and that I like to watch them.
that's just sad.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
But anyway, I have no idea what the hell they're actually going to try to do with that, other than uh, I don't know, have all the weird stuff that happens in Sharknado. It's totally unbelievable. It's pretty much it's a modern B flick, purposely made as a B flick. I don't understand that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But what else is there? Pathfinder has a new release. I'll address that later. Sorry. Luminous Echoes. That's not the Pathfinder game. It's up on Kickstarter. I think they said they were halfway to their goals. There's still 23 games left. It's called Luminous Echo. It's about 2 diametrically opposed worlds. One is a dream world where magic is common and it's really, really normal to have immortal beings around. Things are all constantly shifting and flowing in this realm. And next to it is Modica. It's a realm of matter, it's natural processes, it makes utter sense. And the interesting part is that each one is fiction or just stories about each other in the world.
That is
So,
interesting.
so like if you know how we have like the Marvel, because Giants
Yeah.
into Marvel. If we
Yeah,
have
a
all
little
those
bit.
comic books, we have all the comic books of Marvel, but they're actually true in another dimension, and they have like comic books about us there. But there is a rift between the two, and it's getting thinner, and they're starting to interact. So the entire game is focusing on what the heck is going on with that. It includes the campaign book to finish and tell you about the different worlds that are involved. It especially uh, revealing what? Especially reveals about the adaptation of the universes. You get, I think, no, that was a different one. You get info about the various worlds, characters, abilities, things like that, weapons, and other such gear that you can get, and that what exists within the world in this Kickstarter package. And since it just came out, I think it was 2 days ago, No Man's Sky has come out on PS4, and I think it's the 12th that it comes to PC, and people have been excited about this game. It's been in 5 years in development, and it's it's multiplayer, but it's not multiplayer in that other people are playing the game at the same time as you, but it's so infinitesimal probability that you would actually meet another human is very small because there are more than 18 quintillion worlds within No Man's Sky.
Oh, wow.
And each one of those worlds is actually the same size as an actual planet. So in the game, you're given. I've watched a couple of live streams, and it's very interesting. You wake up. You're in a spacesuit. You have a jetpack. You have a multi-tool thing that also serves as your weapon. So pretty much, you just shoot stuff, and things come out at you, like or stuff like that. So that's your mining tool. And if you're assaulted by random things, you can shoot them with that too. You're also given a ship that you have to repair, and pretty much all your junk is broken. And you have to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm impressed.
yes, so they have things that people normally don't think about. Like on one of the live streams, they exhibited that you were in a really cold environment. If it got too cold, you started losing the heat abilities of your suit, and so you had to go into a cave in order to regain. For like a better term, your stamina to the cold to warm up, much as you would
Right.
in reality.
So it's basically you're stuck on your own and you have to live and survive on your own.
Yes, only I don't think you have to eat anything, so that makes it easier.
But you have to warm up, but you don't have to eat. Okay.
Yeah,
Well.
it's weird. Don't have hands-on experience. I've only watched people in live streams of it. You have your own boat or ship. You fix that. You can carry your goods to market. You actually have to learn the languages of the aliens that you're dealing with. So you find these things called knowledge stones, and it teaches you a single word from the Korvax language.
It's one single word at a time. Just one.
It's one single word at a time. This one guy, you find this thing called an Atlas orb. It's pretty much just like a giant shimmering, pulsing ball of jam. Yeah. And it talks to you through your mind. It telepathically talks to you, and you have to choose whether you follow the call of Atlas to the center of the universe. That's the entire point of this game, is to reach the center of of the galaxy. Atlas is calling you there. And then there's these giant 8-sided diamond-like shaped ships that are controlled by Atlas that you go to. And one of the guys said, "Oh, I've encountered 2 of these before, but I haven't really explored them," because he got several interesting things, including knowledge about how to build stuff and other resources. But also, there are like 5 or 6 of these knowledge stones that are just laying there, but they don't look like knowledge stones and teaching. So you can get like 10 words of the language learned at the time. But apparently, this guy had skipped doing that in 2 of the other places he'd been, so now he's kind of up a creek about learning the language, so it's going to take him longer.
Right.
But other things include having to find planets that actually have water, having to find planets that exploring the different trade bases and augmentations to your suit, buying new ships, earning money to transfer or purchase new ships, modify them, things like that. So pretty much it really is space travel. It's an electronic version of what it actually probably would be like going out, exploring the universe, being one of the first guys out there, and setting up things for future generations to come, much like Lewis and Clark trying up all the rivers and stuff like that, Daniel Boone. So you are an explorer. It's very It appears to be very focused on that fact. Now, uh, several other interesting things is that you can see animals, you get to name them. You can name the planets, you can name your ship. You don't have a dog, though. I don't think you can take any of the animals as pets. Though
Aw.
some of them are quite odd looking. I think one looked like it was like a stag, but it was also an elephant or something.
Right.
So all these familiar looking animals, but yet they're not familiar looking. What else was there? Uh, yeah, so No Man's Sky is like the purposely made so that you can never truly fully complete the game because of the 18. I think it's like 18 boring bunches of numbers. 18 quintillion planets within the world, and that's not including space stations as well because there's a couple of those. You can never in all your lifetime visit every single one of them. So it's bittersweet,
Hmm.
but you get to pretty much do what a lot of people from this Firefly perspective do. They like the idea of going out there. We get to live on our ship, and we have all these adventures. You have ship-to-ship combat, encountering aliens, pirates, things like this. You may even encounter other players in these ships because ships are not designated whether they're player or not. So it's just like, I don't know, is that ship an actual person or is it just an AI? And then there's the ubiquitous aliens that help you out that you're trying to learn the language of, but they
One
speak it
word at
to you
a time.
anyway, and you're like, okay, I got one of those words. No idea
Yeah.
what. It was funny. The guy's talking to this one alien, and it offers to inject his brain with this weird syringe that comes out of its hand. And everyone's in the chat like, just do it. He says, I don't know. And he finally does it. It causes him some damage, but it's beneficial to him. So it's like, okay.
Huh. This is a trade. Interesting. I see. I like. I'm so tempted to play this game, but I know I will want to beat it. And since you can't beat it, you'll never see me again. I'll be in my room playing this game till the day I die.
Well, technically, you can beat it. If you make it to the center of the galaxy, you will win, but you can't get like 100% completion.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not like you wouldn't achieve all the goals and all the benefits. So you could beat it, but you wouldn't get like the full experience of the game. So I mean, either way, like you said, it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it only makes me want to play the game more. And of course, I don't have any systems to run it.
Small
But
problem.
it's a small problem. Buying them is actually the larger problem. But one of
Yeah.
the things that I found annoying was like some of the people were in the chat were like, "What's this game? Man, this game is boring." It's like you don't understand. It's like you're exploring an actual new planet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what you're doing, and it's realistic to a point. If you don't find that interesting, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah. I think it would be a special. There are different tastes in role playing for sure, and I think maybe it's not. Maybe it won't be some people's things, but I don't know. It sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right, now I think we've talked enough about No Man's Sky. The latest Pathfinder release is called Horror Adventures. Pretty much it's the same thing, but they add new things such as corruption. So your character can be a vampire, a werewolf, or whatever else is in the horror genre. It includes new archetypes, feats, spells, and gear. The rules for sanity or madness are also added. Uh, There are also new skins for the GM to use for monsters to fit with the horror theme. So I'm going to guess it means zombies. You
More than
can't have a
like,
horror. You can't have a horror game without zombies. So this goes into a thing that Cheyenne and I had discussed is that I got her into this TV series called Supernatural.
yes,
So
big fan.
so how far have you gotten in Supernatural?
I'm still fairly like new. I think I'm almost like to the halfway point of season 1. I'm balancing that and Doctor Who right now. So, two good shows. But yeah, I think I'm like halfway. I watched the episode where they're building houses on the Native American burial ground in season 1. That was the last one I saw. Yeah.
That's and among the Supernatural fandom, that episode is like one of the weakest links in the entire.
Oh, really? That particular episode?
Yeah, I think the guy who made it said that if he had a chance, he would either rewrite it or never have written it.
It had good moments. I remember I wasn't necessarily confused so much as it just didn't feel like a very strong plot line. But it had some funny moments. I laughed a couple of times during the show. But it wasn't as good as like the first one. Like the first episode I was hooked like 15 minutes in.
My name is Nugent. Ted Nugent. Yeah,
you ruined my life, I'm addicted to the show.
Well, yeah. Have you gotten to Scarecrow yet?
No, I don't think I've hit that far yet.
How about Hell House?
Hang on, I'm gonna look up season 1 because I don't want to tell you I hit a certain point. But yeah, no, I know it was like that bug one was the last one I watched. So let's see here.
Okay, yeah. So I think Hell House and Scarecrow are like some of the ones like you don't really want to watch those alone.
Oh, Scarecrow's 11. Yeah, I have like 3 more till Scarecrow, and then Hell House. Yeah, Hell House is like 6 or 7 episodes away.
Okay. I haven't watched the series from beginning to end in a while. Usually for me, the best ones are like after season 3, those ones where they get really interesting.
I feel like they're going to have to change their cast because they're on season 12 now. Do they add a bunch more people to the cast, or is it still just kind of Dean and Sam, or, too much without, don't want to spoil it, but...
Dean and Sam are still the main characters. They've added 2, you can think of it as 2 major side characters who kind of take over the core. But they've had a slew of additional characters, some who've stayed for seasons and some who have not.
Right.
So for me, Supernatural is a very good story. It also shows a lot of the different spiritual things that are dealt with in the world, and how different people view them. Like most horror flicks have people being complete and utter idiots when they deal with psycho murderers, monsters, whatever. But if you haven't seen Supernatural, this is kind of like their job. They deal with these otherworldly beings and creatures, and they just so happen to be handsome, good-looking men at the same time.
Yeah, just, coincidence. But it's a lot like, I feel like this is definitely more of like a female show, but for anyone that watches Once Upon a Time, it's a lot like that, only it's more, the fairy tales are compared to like legend. Shush. They're compared to like, yeah, they're gritty. Like it's just a more serious take on like legends and ghost stories, and it's good. Don't watch it unless you want to be in front of your computer for 10 hours, but it's good. It's really good.
It's like Grimm's fairy tales. If you've ever read any of the Grimm's fairy tales, the horror factor of what those are compared to Disney is phenomenal. It makes it so much better. But yeah, Supernatural, I got out of it like the last season or so. But
you've seen to 12? Or like season 12? Okay.
Yes. Some of them are very, very funny, and some of them are completely meta, I gotta say. Anyway. But anyway, back to the diatribe about Star Wars. So I don't know. I think Cheyenne knows this, and I think other viewers who have seen previous episodes, know that until like a month or two ago, maybe it's 3 now, I had not seen The Force Awakens.
So shameful. Just so shameful.
Oh man, he was like, "Why'd you wait so long?" Other people, one guy, I struck speechless that I had not seen it.
Really? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a logical reaction. I mean, I can understand that.
Anyway, but so for my redemption, my co-hosts on Dear Diary literally made me watch it. They one of them gave me like the link to her show, not sure thing, streaming, whatever it's called, streaming service. It's like, okay, watch my copy of The Force Awakens, and then we can discuss it. It's like,
Right.
okay, fine. Because I was a big extended universe guy. I love the extended universe. It's still alive. It's just not in its various incarnation as it is now.
Mm-hmm. And so I know we've talked about this a couple times, kind of on what you thought, but I need a refresher before I say like I hate a certain character, and it turns out you liked the character.
Yeah, I'm responding to a thing in another chat. All right. I felt that The Force Awakens was 4 large parts poorly strung together.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the characters. All right. A lot of people I know love Kylo Ren. I don't mind Kylo Ren, but I can only compare it to the other movies that I've seen, like when I was first watching Star Wars, The New Hope, as we now know it. When Vader came in, you knew he was the boss.
Right.
He had the panache. He didn't take any lip. He was a bit of a loose cannon in some respects. And the same thing with Tarkin. It seems as if they tried to replicate that in Kylo Ren and General Hux, but they didn't try hard enough to work it. I understand that they are young men, early in their service, but I really liked Lee's description of Hux the last time he was on, and he said he wouldn't trust Hux to go into a broom closet by himself.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea how he became a captain or a general. He does not, when he was delivering his speech on Starkiller Base when they were about to blow some crap up, I was not impressed. I would not go running into the depths of hell at his word or command. He is not that kind of leader for me. No.
Mm-mm.
I was expecting a Tarkin-like character, this prim British man who you just like love to hate.
Right.
But I got this preppy kid who's like, I'm the cool one. I'm here. I have red hair.
I'm a ginger.
Ginger, but it wasn't even like a snappy ginger.
It was, yeah. It was not like a ginger. It was no, just no.
Yeah, it was not. He doesn't instill confidence. That's what you need in a leader. I was also exceedingly disappointed with all the hype that Captain Phasma was getting, and getting like 5 minutes of screen time and 10 lines of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. That whole like, I should not get started. I'll talk about this for the rest of the hour. How I felt about Star Wars 7. I think for Captain Phasma, I don't know. There was no reason for that character, I feel
She
like.
was a pinup girl.
Yeah, it was just kind of thrown in there just to be like, oh, we have this cool female character when you didn't really need one. I mean,
You have Rey. You have
yeah.
Rey. She's the cool female character.
Yeah, you have Rey. I mean, the whole story follows Rey, and I'm not even like a huge Rey fan, but I mean, you do have, and Star Wars has always been very good about including female characters. I mean, you have Amidala, you have Princess Leia. There's a couple of female Jedi too, so it's not like it's completely men. But I don't know. I have issues. I have issues with this movie.
Yeah, it did not live up to the hype. I felt that they relied too much on the advertisements before for you to know what was happening in the movie.
Right. Yeah,
I will tell you one thing. You know what my favorite part of the whole movie was?
Which part?
The part where Rey is eating.
That was your favorite part?
Yeah, it's like, oh, she's so adorable.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's like we didn't need the whole movie. We just needed like 10 minutes of Rey shopping and eating food, and that was it. That was the whole movie. That's all we needed.
It was realistic. I was watching this like, okay, I think this is gonna be my favorite part because it's so realistic. Anyway, but Finn, one of the things that I really wish that they hadn't done was that the short amount of time that Poe and Finn interacted. Yeah. I liked the bromance between the two, not the slash fiction bromance, but their interaction. I really wanted to see more of that, because like they had great chemistry on screen. It's like, dude, you busted me out of prison. Dude, you saved me from a life of slavery. This is awesome.
It was a friendship based on giving. They were cool, and for me, I didn't personally like Poe. Just like, that's how you say his name, right? That's so weird to me that's his name. Seems like, I think, Teletubbies, which is not where my mind should go. But I didn't actually like his character that much. He felt just like super full of himself, which was funny at times, but it seemed out of place in the Star Wars universe. Well, but I like them together.
Han Solo is like the narcissist.
He's Han Solo, okay? He's Harrison Ford. You know, I don't care what movie you put him in. He's awesome. He's just.
I know, but I find it. You know what's interesting? All the other admins on Diary of a Sith don't give a crap about Ford. It's like, yeah, he has his time.
Really?
So, yeah, it's weird. I don't get it. It's like he is like the most realistic character from the entire Star Wars movie, from the original Star Wars movie.
Right.
He's the most believable. It's not just some random kid who just happens to be the chosen one. It's like, yeah, I have a ship, and you need a ride. Mm-hmm. You're gonna pay me for that ride. Okay, let's get this done.
He's just an overglorified taxi cab driver.
Well, he's a realistic criminal, but. There were some things like the interactions with Han Solo, Chewbacca, Rey, and Finn, when the debt collectors come for Han Solo, that was pretty good. But when they first introduced them, I think it ties in with the whole kind of bad marketing that Disney has been doing for all of Star Wars. It's shifted greatly.
Yeah.
But they did all right. I know New Hope was originally the fourth one in the series, but they put it first. But they gave it in such a way so that you got a feel of the characters when you just watch them. I feel that a lot of the movies kind of had that depth to them. I didn't get that same depth here in The Force Awakens. If I had just walked into a movie theater and said, let's start the Star Wars stuff, I would have seen a black guy and a white chick hiding in the bottom of a spaceship and this giant hairy thing following a silver-haired man saying they're home and no explanation. It's like, hey, there's some old dude with a gun. What is he? Who is he?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, and I think like as an actor, I run into this problem a lot too. The stories have very little depth to them, and the characters are not something that you get attached to just because they're poorly written. And that's not necessarily anyone's fault, but like in the case of Star Wars, it really relied on two things. It relied on like just the fact that it had had a series going on before this, so it was relying on the old characters, and it's just a modern movie, so they were relying on humor and not racial stereotypes, that's not what I'm looking for, but like portraying like a black man as a stormtrooper, which I think he did a fabulous job. He was an excellent character. And then having a strong female lead, and she was okay, but they were really just kind of relying on politics instead of like staying true to the actual, Star Wars legacy, which is how I felt going into the theater. But
well, I didn't see him in the theater. I saw it sitting from my desk. But what I felt from all the research that I've done over the years into Star Wars, because I just can sit there and just guzzle this stuff
Right.
for hours before high-speed internet because there was nothing else to do. But I realized, and I have written several blog posts. One was a rather shoddy one. I should do a better one. But the Empire and even the First Order, all the bad guys have a very German undertone.
right.
Because in the original one, even from the name, the Stormtroopers and Darth Vader and stuff, they are heavily Germanic influenced by the Third Reich. They are space Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand that they are the intolerant ones that you want to shoot, not the ones you want to buddy up with. Though I would say that I like the Empire. I like the clones especially.
Yeah.
I like those guys. But what the Empire became in the original parts of the sets of trilogies and sagas was not the cuddle kind of thing that you expect these days. Anyway, but I think originally the mandates of the Stormtrooper legions was that they had to be white human males.
Right.
They had to be that. There was no women. There were no non-humans. So all the ones that eventually came in the timeline of the EU, which happened 70 to 80 years after the events of A New Hope, that's when the Empire finally started having non-humans and women in. So it took 80 years for that to happen in the books.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, we'll just for diversity, we'll throw this black guy in there, and he'll fall in love with this Italian dude, and have a crush and be friend zoned by this desert chick. And I could see that. Well, not only his huge crush on Rey, but also possibly the character's actual crush on the actress, because you can't really fake it that well.
True.
But it's like, okay, you probably like Finn. I don't like Finn. Finn, as one of my other co-hosts said, Finn displeases me. When I know he's a cloistered sanitary worker in the First Order, but even the most illiterate dude knows how the communication of using your head to point at something.
Yeah. Okay.
When Han Solo was indicating that Rey was right behind Finn, and Finn didn't get it. I don't know if you remember that scene. But
I do. I don't know. I think that goes back to like poor character development, because it's not really that they were trying to imply anything about his character. I think that whole part, along with a lot of other parts, were done just to get a laugh, which is like so modern movie.
I would say that actually enraged me more than it made me laugh.
Really?
It was weak. It was annoying for me. It's like, okay, I don't give a crap how long you've been indoctrinated. Dudes communicate non-verbally a lot of the time. They don't say much. We do a lot of gestures. We shrug our shoulders. We nod with our heads. Maybe we blink really hard or something like that. We use that to we communicate a lot of the times non-verbally, even though most of people communicate non-verbally, and only like 90% of our behavior is registered as non-verbal when we communicate with people. So while I am talking to you, the stuff that I'm doing with my hands that you can't actually see would be having a better impact on you if we were in person.
Well, okay, now I'm processing the information. I'm thinking of a rebuttal. Well, I think that's most people anyway. I don't know. Maybe guys communicate more with their hands. I'm not a guy. I don't know. But that's true. Women do tend to talk more. As far as that, I don't know. As far as that scene goes, I don't know. I don't know anymore, Trent. You made me rethink my entire position.
Success.
You do that often. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Anyway, what else? Of course, I've heard before I went in, I knew that Harrison Ford's character died in the movie before I saw it.
I did not know that. I didn't know that.
I watched it like way after all of you people.
After all of you, thank you. Well, I didn't know that. Another complaint I have for that movie is I didn't know that Kylo Ren was Han and Leia's son, but like 10 minutes into the movie, you figure it out. Like, it's not that like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. So, and then like eventually I figured that he would kill his dad, but I didn't go into the theater knowing that. That's something that I like figured out while I was there.
Yeah, I find it kind of amusing when I'm like on a show or like there's a crime show. It's like, oh, it's that guy. 5 minutes to the show, that's the guy who perpetrates the crime.
Yep.
That's the real guy who did it. It's like, okay. Of course, I grew up watching and reading stuff about Sherlock Holmes, so maybe that plays a part into it, probably.
Yeah, that would do it. But
I probably have had like 4 entire episodes devoted to The Force Awakens. Since I've been starting. Oops. I labeled this wrong. This is not 8, this is 9. Alright, anyway. I can change that later. But the thing I disliked about... I'm sorry. When I was first going in, I knew that some people thought that Star Wars The Force Awakens was a rehash of A New Hope in most of the ways.
True, yeah.
They shifted, I did notice that they shifted a lot from the Force users to the kind of more average people, with most of the characters being non-Force sensitive. And you can really feel a lot of the Force's influence, because they started out showing Poe Dameron and Finn. They focus mainly on those 2 guys, and they are pretty much nothing special. They're not like Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia.
Right.
This is some grunt in the First Order military, and the best fighter pilot there is, who is an entire ripoff of Antilles, now that I think of it.
Yeah.
The EU guys that I have talked to have been pretty pissed at Disney, because they've pretty much taken the Legacy series of books, taken Jason Solo, renamed him Kylo Ren or Ben Solo, took all the stuff that kind of happened to him, and then threw him on the screen.
Right.
I will tell you one thing. Kylo Ren is German because the style of sword that he has is a German design, and he grips it like a German. And I'll talk to Cheyenne about that probably later, because she probably doesn't give a crap.
I am intrigued, but that's not something that I would like go research on my own. I'd be like, ooh, he has a weird looking lightsaber, and that'd be like the extent of my, yeah, that'd be it.
Okay. I'm going to go into it now, since you expressed interest.
Okay. All right.
There are 2 things that I like, because I study historical European martial arts. I like the new lightsaber design because it protects your hands. And the way I say it that he is German is because holding the blade so that it looks like a cross, if you would think of holding a cross upside down for this thing,
Right.
that is a very German technique. It's like a very small thing that you wouldn't really know, but for me, I thought it was significant. And since his blade is very unstable, that reminded me of what is known as a flamberger or flame-bladed sword, which was also kind of a German thing because it took a bunch of skill to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The one gripe that I had is the scene where Han Solo is killed.
Okay.
A mutual friend of ours is like really heartbroken about that scene, but I found a couple of inconsistencies in it. When Kylo Ren offers his saber to Han Solo grasps it right in the middle, and then all of a sudden the blade is turned toward him and turned on. That there was no twisting of that blade to that position, because if his hand's in the middle, he's going to know it's turning toward him, and right in the middle he has enough leverage to kind of fight that a lot, because in saber or sword you can grip right about there and you have pretty much full control of the blade of your opponent, and you can like rip it out of his hand or something like that, or at least mess him up enough so that he doesn't hit you with his blade.
Right.
That and the part where he like lovingly touches the side of his son's face, at that exact moment I was thinking he was going for an eye gouge.
Why?
It's like the actor who is a Marine would have understood. It's like, I'm going to place my hand on your face and stab you in the eye.
Okay, you totally just ruined the whole touching father-son moment for me. That it's gone forever. Nah, it's just gone.
It wasn't that touching.
No, I'm gonna stick with it. It was touching.
It was moderately touching. I will say it's like the last time he can reach out and touch his little boy before his body is lost in the fires at the middle of a planet.
Wow, that was so gruesome. That was, yeah. Okay, can't you just say he died, man? Ouch.
No.
No.
I cannot. My ability. There are few who deny. At what I do, I am the best.
You're killing me. You're killing me. I like that scene. I mean, this is probably just a difference between like guys and girls, but for me, it was like, oh well, this nice little moment, and it was brief. It was like 1 or 2 seconds where you're like, okay, it's gonna work out. Like everyone's happy, and then he betrays his dad and kills him. So for me, it was like a nice moment, but I would have never gone into like all the logistics of where the lightsaber was and where it was placed. And
oh yeah, that is a different thing. But I did like the symbolism. It's like we have this lone shaft of light shining on these two men in the midst of all the darkness. There's hope for redemption, and then as the light dies, so does all hope of Han Solo getting out of there alive.
Oh my gosh! Don't ever write anyone's eulogies or anything. Okay, just don't. No.
Oh my. Now I want to write eulogies.
No, please don't. Please stick to podcasts for the love of all that is good. Just, yeah, no.
All right, anyway. One of the other things that, I did, of course, they had the single X-Wing blowing up an entire ship, but only it was Poe Dameron taking the lead, and destroying the entire World Destroyer was very throwback to A New Hope.
Right.
Beyond that, I did enjoy a lot of the people that I know are like shipping or having a relationship between Rey and Kylo, or Reylo. There's a page about it. Yes.
No, not cool.
There is an actual page devoted to fan art about it, which I should send you a link, because one of the ones, Siren, I know, runs it.
All right. Well, I'll take a look at it, but I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for that. That's
well,
new.
they a lot of people take it because when he knocks Rey out, he just like picks her up in the princess hold.
You can't. Like, but that's not an entire like attraction. I mean, I admit it's probably a more interesting relationship than her and Finn would be, because that's just like super cliche. But no, that's just weird.
Well, it's like in the scene when she's when she's locked into place, when he's about to interrogate her. They've like read so much into that. Like when he takes off his helmet, and Siren really loved going deeply into the how slowly he removed his helmet and how dramatic it was, saying that he's like self-conscious of what Rey's going to think of him.
I think he just hasn't taken his helmet off in a long time. I don't think that was an actual like move on her. It was not a moment. It was not a moment.
Yeah, there's also a funny video I should send you after this because it's just hilarious. But what else was there? I was not impressed with Kylo Ren. Yes, I do like him. He is a highly unstable individual. There's no getting around that.
Mm-hmm.
Some say he's emo as well, but he does not fill with confidence as he worships his ancestor in the back room with an ashtray.
I don't know.
He does when he's interrogating people, and he's stomping around in his outfit because he is stomping. You can't get around that in the first scene. Kylo Ren, I like him, but there's what everyone that I know is hating is they don't want a redemption arc with Kylo. They want him to remain the dark side.
Right.
But when you see his whole demeanor when he's got the hood on and the helmet and all this stuff, you're expecting. Everyone was surprised when we have this pretty boy with luscious raven locks underneath it instead of something like Darth Vader, scarred, battle hardened, and what else would you describe Darth Vader as?
Evil, super cool. I don't know.
I do like Darth Vader. Darth Vader, in my opinion, is much better than Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, I love Darth Vader. Darth Vader is he's a very intimidating presence. And like you were saying earlier, he demands respect. And with Kylo Ren, maybe it is because he's younger. It's just the respect's not there. And it's going to take a lot for him to transform into a Darth Vader type. If he does, or if they redeem the character, I don't know at this point.
Then I think my favorite thing that they read a whole bunch into is like the entire planet breaks apart, separating Kylo and Rey so that they don't kill each other as the rift between them grows, and they're like looking longingly across the void.
Okay, again, anyone who's a Kylo and Rey shipper, it was not a moment. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It was not a moment. It was just no.
All right. I'm gonna have to get you and Siren in a room, and this is going to be an interesting discussion. Possibly what we'll have next week.
Possibly.
Yes. Because seeing you two fight to the death is going to be hilarious.
I'd really like to I'm pretty sure she'll like out fandom me. She'll have like all these great, supports for her theories, and I'll just be like, okay, I'll just surrender. It's okay. You can be wrong, but I'll just surrender.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Definitely tune in when we do that for sure. You're not gonna want to miss that. Bring popcorn.
Definitely, that's gonna be awesome. Anyway, what else didn't I like about Star Wars: The Force Awakens? Lee and I both commented on the utter crap part of the plot where R2-D2 just happens to turn on right after all of the shenanigans.
Right.
Yeah.
That was weak.
Mm-hmm. It was weak. Lee, who works a lot with computers, said, why couldn't you just pull R2's hard drive, get the data from there, shove it back in, then you have the data, not waiting all these years to have him reveal the secret.
That would make a lot more sense. It's a lot more plausible.
I could see how some of them, since they interacted with him like he was human, would see it as a violation of his person.
Oh, rights for robots. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, there's actually like a movement for that in Star Wars, the extended universe. They refer to people who view machines as organicists.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's a whole nother level. So we have robots rights activists within a fictional extended universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
The story in which it takes place is fantastic, and you, Cheyenne, you should read it. It's a very well written series.
All right. I can't promise I'll finish it, but I'll start it. Let you know what I think.
Yeah. Anyway, what else was there? There was. If you think about it, one of the major undertones of Star Wars is slavery, because they have the clones, they have droids, they have imperial oppression, they have sand people.
Mm-hmm.
So I still stand by my analysis that Star Wars is an allegory of real life, where you can experiment as much as you want without actually endangering people. Though I do find it annoying when people who are in fandoms seem to take it beyond the fact that it's a fictional thing.
Right.
I mean, like, willing to come at blows and insult people over, because I encountered one of those people on Diary of Sith chick, is like, I was just making some fun at his grammar, then he persists in insulting one of the other administrators, and I got rather passionate under the collar about it, because people don't mess with my kin.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so needless to say, that situation did not go as planned.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So, what else should we talk about? Is there any deep insights that you, Cheyenne, have upon this wonderful world of RPGs?
Deep insights? No. I have random little thoughts that I'm like, oh, that's so brilliant. I should say that. And then I'm like, nah.
What?
What are words? No, I like RPGs. I think I'm probably more of a LARPer, just because I'm an actor. I think that would align more with my interests. I like costumes too, so.
Everyone loves dress up.
Yeah, dress up, yay. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I want to explore more, but I am very interested in it. So deep insights, no.
Well, they do dress up for some of them.
For the role playing games?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they do to some extent, but like, I feel like LARPing is more like.
That is LARPing, actually.
Yeah, it's more like you have to physically like.
But another thing, so you'll actually enjoy, like, 6th season on, they encounter LARPers in Supernatural.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's it's part of those meta episodes I mentioned.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm gonna go binge watch till I reach season 6. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Let you know how it goes.
What the hell? It's take what 45 minutes for the show if it has no commercials.
Yeah, it's like 45, maybe 50 per episode, and then they have a lot per season. It's like 22 episodes per season, which is more than usual.
Supernatural is actually quite long in its seasons.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because I started it and I was like, oh, there's probably only like 9. That's not bad. And then it was like, oh, we're starting season 12. I was like, what? I did not sign up for this.
Oh, you'll enjoy it. Oh, how you'll enjoy it.
I know I will. There goes any possible hope of a social life. It's just gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah. But, oh, yeah, that's right. Despite we only had 5 minutes, we brought up previously one of the new games, Battlefield 1. Did we actually talk about this online? Oh, yes. Battlefield 1, where it's set in World War I, and all the combat is done by men. And apparently someone on the internet has taken offense at this and has found that that it's sexist that there's not an option for Whip to have a female avatar. And since we do have a female among us at this current time,
Whoop whoop.
what are your thoughts on this?
Okay. I know you and I had talked about this a little before going on air. I'm a big history nerd. You know, my dad was a history teacher, so I grew up watching history and the importance of being historically accurate. And I think historically, yeah, it's accurate that there's no females, but you're not reaching out to a 1940s America for these video games. You're reaching out to 2016 America, which probably a good almost, I want to say half. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but there's a large portion of women who are gamers. So if you want to attract that group, that demographic, you should probably have some female options on the game. But that's just what I think. That's kind of a bad choice, advertising wise.
I would be quite interested. There's a page called Legit Lady Gamers, and I should probably ask them, hey, if you want to come on the show, to see their opinion of it, because while I don't want to open that can of worms, I would be quite surprised if they're like, this is a stupid thing. Why?
It would that'd be definitely interesting to hear their perspective, because I'm a gamer. I'm not a hardcore gamer, so probably not. I probably shouldn't be speaking.
What? You should have told me, because then all recurring guests have to. It's tradition to give your gaming background.
Oh no, not that. I don't know. I play a little of everything. Like everyone else, I start out on computer, Microsoft, start gaming that way, and then I'm not a huge Xbox fan. I do love the PS4. Nintendo I like, but I feel like Nintendo is more of a family console.
Yeah, they've been trying to get away from that recently.
Yeah, I know it's not like...
It had a lot of controversy back in the 90s about that.
Family gaming, not being a real gaming platform type thing?
Well, no, it being family friendly, because they had games like Final Fight, where some of the characters that you actually fight are prostitutes, female prostitutes, scantily clad, whom they then changed in the Game Boy version for Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance, changed them to male prostitutes.
Oh my gosh.
To have that. Then they switched it back, and that's how we got one of the first transgender characters in all video gaming, Poison, who used to be a dude and is now a woman.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to look into that, because I don't know what to think right now.
Yeah, so we haven't done anything on the history of RPGs and video games in a while. I should probably get back into that, because that's actually more interesting than random babbling.
Right. Well, next episode.
Yeah. Well, that's when you and Siren are going to deathmatch.
Oh yeah, I gotta go get my battle gear. Give me a week to prepare.
Well, unfortunately, we are just about out of time. So, Cheyenne, do you want to tell where people can find you online?
Yeah, I'm all over. Pretty much hit any one of my links and you'll find another one. I'm on Instagram as Author Shine Marie. I write books too, but that's besides the point. So Author Shine Marie on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I've got a page. I'm on IMDb underneath Shine Marie Smith. You can see some of the acting work I've done here in LA. I have a blog, shinemariebooks.wordpress.com, and you can find me from there. I'm also on Amazon, so literally all over the place. Just find one link and I can contact with you there. Follow for follow.
All right, so you can find me on Diary of a Sith Chick as @Gorn, as well as DSC Jedi Archive and Fet's Locker. You can also find me in the fan group of Diary of a Sith Chick as one of the admins. You can find me on Facebook on my personal blog page, The Irreverent Gentleman. You can also find me on WordPress under the Gentleman's University of Manliness, which is also connected to Tumblr, which you can find. I do not have an Instagram. I should probably work on that. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at GentDeReverend, no T. because the Irreverent was already taken, or I didn't have enough space. So other than that, you can also find us on The Gamer's Tale, which is also a Facebook page. You should like that and follow us. We don't have a lot of content up currently other than these videos and other stuff that I randomly share to the page. So when you do, drop by, give us like Diary of a Sith Chick. You can catch me on the bi-weekly Dear Diary episodes where you can hear me complain about Star Wars some more with other people who are even more hardcore than I am. So with that, the lights go down and cool music plays, and we